A pair of peaceful protests converging on downtown Scottsbluff Sunday evening in response to the death of George Floyd. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, in the wake of the death of George Floyd, an unarmed black man who was killed by a Minneapolis police officer last week, protests, rallies, riots, and looting have taken place across the country. Here in Scottsbluff, two separate events were held Sunday night. Both events were peaceful and both aimed to raise awareness about racism and opposition to police brutality. One of those events was hosted by Panhandle Equality at Centennial Park in Scottsbluff. That event included a candlelight vigil, the reading of the names of people who have been killed by law enforcement officers, and people sharing their personal stories. The second event was a peaceful march organized by Jose Gonzalez that originated at the Guadalupe Center. He says that march was in response to Floyd's death.
I decided, we need to act. We need to act. We need to be Americans and make those responsible for what they did. Responsible for what they did. I mean, it's not fair. It's unjust.
He says this was a march for justice, but emphasized it needed to remain peaceful and condemned the riots that have made national headlines over the past few days.
We're the birth of this nation. We are the nation, man. We need to step up when things like this happen. And I don't care how small a community this is, we are a community.
He says that there are multiple issues that need to be addressed, including racism in America and police across the country using excessive force.
I think as a nation as a whole, we need to let everybody else that little Scottsbluff, Nebraska, hey, we hear you. We hear you. And I felt the pain too.
For this march, there were signs that read, "An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind." "We're not trying to start a race war, we're trying to end one," and "I can't breathe." Shortly after 6 p.m., the marchers headed north to East Overland, up through Broadway, and then returned towards the Guadalupe Center. During the march, participants chanted "No justice, no peace," "George Floyd," and "Justice for George." The Scottsbluff Police Department was aware of the two events, and Chief Kevin Spencer commended the participants for keeping everything peaceful.
We respect their right to assemble, so we're just grateful that they did it peaceful, and I think they took care of themselves and kept themselves safe, and we were here to keep them safe and keep the peace.
Chief Spencer says there was a group of diesel trucks that were driving by the marchers and accelerated, blowing exhaust on the crowd. He says they stopped two drivers for doing that, and both were cited. Well, June officially the start of summer and the beginning of mosquito season. Panhandle Public Health District has once again begun West Nile virus surveillance activities to monitor the presence of the virus in the Panhandle. Melissa Haas told KNEB News that tracking is being done statewide from now until September, with mosquitoes being trapped at selected areas to help determine locations where West Nile is active.
Well, the ones that sign up for it, the health departments across the whole state of Nebraska, we all set out traps that were created by the CDC, and usually they're put out kind of in the afternoon, and then we pick them up in the morning, and then they go to the Department of Health and Human Services in Lincoln, and they count all of them, and then they send them off to get tested for West Nile.
Haas notes that June also brings ticks out in the area, which can transmit Lyme disease, which is a bacteria infection that can cause rashes, often in a bullseye pattern, and flu-like symptoms. Nebraska had 32 reported human cases of West Nile virus last year. Well, coming up after the break, a scorcher across the region. Bill Boyer has your full week forecast coming up right after this on KNEB.TV News.
Local lending. We're here for you from start to finish. Keeping money in our economy. Supporting local jobs. Giving back to our community, investing in entrepreneurship, making our quiet towns a destination. At Platte Valley Bank, we support local because we are local.
Start your spring right with compliments for you and your home. Compliments wants to help you get dressed for all your spring events. Whether you're the mother of the bride, at your son's graduation, or looking for a great dress for a special event, Compliments has got a look for you. While at Compliments, look for a new style or give it as a gift. With great new home decor, now is the perfect time to spruce up your home. Compliments for you and your home. 1708 Broadway, beautiful downtown Scottsbluff.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source for weather.
We're going to be dealing with partly cloudy skies across the region. Can't rule out a shower or storm, but really small chances tonight. Lows falling down into the 60s overnight. Pretty muggy and warm out there today. It's going to stay warm to hot for all the next 7 days. A couple of storms around. Better chances probably Saturday and then maybe again Tuesday of next week. All in all, it's going to be pretty quiet here across the high plains. Yesterday's high 92 after a morning low of 54. Our precip, nothing in the rain gauge to end the month of May. 295, about a half an inch above normal. 515 for the year. We start the 1st of June here a little over an inch below normal for precip. Boy, look at this heat that is built here into the central portions of the country. The blast furnace is on with temps in the 90s. Near 100 degrees at McCook right now. We keep those 90s going here, mid-90s from the Sandhills, then right up the North Platte River Valley. A little cooler to the north and south, but still splitting hairs with upper 80s to near 90 degrees. Some gusty breezes and a couple of showers trying to form there down around Cheyenne. Severe weather threat stays off to the north today. Tomorrow we bring in a marginal risk of severe storms, very isolated storms at best. We'll keep an eye as we go into Wednesday. The Storm Prediction Center trying to move this slight risk a little closer to our area, but still I think coverage is going to be very isolated as we go Wednesday as well. So just a couple of showers out there tonight. That's it. Very low chances across the Panhandle and clearing skies, low temperatures. Going to fall down into the upper 50s and low 60s for most of us here across the region. A couple of upper 60s there, both Valentine and Mullen. For tomorrow, sunshine to partly cloudy skies to start the day. A good period of sun out there. When it's all said and done, we'll end with mostly sunny skies. Then late tomorrow afternoon, again, a very isolated thunderstorm chance late tomorrow into tomorrow night. And those will clear out on Wednesday, only to rinse and repeat that forecast again on Thursday, Wednesday and Thursday, again with more isolated thunderstorm chances. A touch cooler tomorrow. We're going to be in the 80s. And upper 80s at that. So tonight, partly cloudy, lows down around 62. Winds will switch out of the south more to the west-northwesterly. That'll make it feel a little cooler tomorrow, and it will be probably 10 or so degrees cooler. A stray late-day storm, 88 your high, and we'll keep those 20% chance of thunderstorms and showers for the rest of the work week. Better chances come late Saturday. It's going to be a bit windy, hot as well, back into the low 90s there on Saturday. And near 90 both Sunday and Monday, and another chance of some late-day storms on Monday of next week.
This is Brad, president of Allo Communications. At Allo and across the nation, the way we connect is changing and growing. Our connections to family, colleagues, and the community become more meaningful each day. Allo's fiber network was built for growth. We have the bandwidth to handle the changing needs of today, tomorrow, and for years to come. We'll continue to invest in the towns we serve, in our team, and in our technology to be ready for the future. We build our network for you, our neighbors, and together we'll stay connected.
As farmers make plans to return to their fields for spring planting, we urge farmers to be alert to the dangers of working near overhead power lines. Electricity is one of the most overlooked, yet deadly hazards of working on a farm. Beware of increased height when loading and transporting equipment on trailers. Avoid raising the arms of planters or cultivators or raising truck beds near power lines. So let's take extra caution this spring planting season. This message brought to you by Chimney Rock Public Power District, your touchtone energy partner, the power of human connections.
This year, W2 means we double. Reganis Auto Center will double your down payment on any pre-owned vehicle on their lot. Turn $500 into $1,000. Turn $1,500 into $3,000. Use that money to get out of your lease or a vehicle you owe too much on, or to lower your monthly payment. For a limited time only, double your down payment only at Reganis Auto Center on East Overland and East 27th Street in Scottsbluff, your volume discount dealer.
Welcome back. Since our Friday evening broadcast, Unified Command confirms 20 new cases for COVID-19 in the Panhandle, including Garden County's first case. On Friday, Unified Command confirmed 6 new cases, including 3 Scottsbluff County males, 2 Scottsbluff County females, and a Garden County man in his 50s. PPHD officials say that Garden County case is community spread, and they have pinpointed the SNS restaurant on Avenue A in Oshkosh as the possible exposure site. If you dine there on May 21st, May 23rd, or on May 26th through these times, you are asked to contact PPHD at 308-262-5764. And on Saturday, Unified Command announcing an additional 14 cases, all in Scottsbluff County, including 10 females, which included 3 children 10 or under, a teenage girl, 3 Scottsbluff County women in their 20s, 2 in their 50s, and 1 in her 80s. There were also 4 Scottsbluff County males, 1 in his teens, 1 in his 40s, 1 in his 50s, and 1 in his 70s, all testing positive for COVID-19. BPHD officials say there were also new recoveries, 1 in Morrill County and 1 in Scottsbluff County, bringing the Panhandle total recoveries to 77. Through Sunday evening, there remains 59 active cases, 54 of those in Scottsbluff County, 2 in Morrill County, and 1 each in Box Butte, Cheyenne, and Garden counties. Well, TestNebraska to be making a second round of coronavirus tests here in the Panhandle. Panhandle Public Health District Director Kim Engel says complete details to be fleshed out a little later this week, but 4 communities will be hosting the test effort.
Drive-through clinics will be from 8 to noon. And Wednesday will be in Chadron, Thursday in Alliance, Friday and Saturday in Scottsbluff, and Sunday in Sydney.
According to the PPHD COVID-19 dashboard, more than 2,800 COVID-19 tests have been administered since March. And a 19-year-old Scottsbluff man has been arrested on multiple felony charges after being accused of sexually assaulting a 13-year-old girl last summer. Brandon Calderon is facing charges of sex trafficking of a minor, 2 counts of first-degree sexual assault of a minor, possession of child pornography, and unlawful distribution of an intimate image. Court documents say authorities uncovered explicit photos and videos of 2 local girls, aged 13 and 17, and Calderon is accused of sexually assaulting the younger juvenile several times last year. A warrant for his arrest was issued on Thursday. Court records show he was booked into the Scottsbluff County Detention Center on Sunday afternoon. Bond has been set at $800,000 with a 10% provision, and he was scheduled to be arraigned on the 5 felony charges on Monday afternoon in Scottsbluff County Court. Well, still to come, Chris Cottrell talking Legion baseball at the sports desk. We'll have that in just 90 seconds.
On April 15, 1924, West Nebraska Methodist Episcopal Hospital, the region's first modern hospital, opened in downtown Scottsbluff. The goal was to provide the care residents needed close to home, and it's never changed. For 95 years, we've continued to provide exceptional health care for generations of families throughout our region as a community hospital, a regional referral center, and a Level 2 trauma center. Thank you for trusting your health care to Regional West Medical Center.
Are you looking for the perfect place to hold a wedding, family reunion, holiday office party, or business meeting? Well, look no further. The Hampton Inn and Suites Hotel and Conference Center is just the place for you. We're a full-service banquet facility that can host up to 400 of your guests. Stop in and see our spacious open-concept meeting rooms and begin planning your special event or family gathering today. Let us do the work for you so you can enjoy your guests. For personal service, stop by the Hampton Inn and Suites front desk.
Home buying is filled with decisions. Neighborhood, floor plan, fenced yard. Make one choice that's easy. Start with FNBO first. We'll guide you home. Home buying is filled with decisions. Square feet, fixer-upper, room to grow. Make one choice that's easy. Start with FNBO first. We'll guide you home.
Now, sports from the FNBO Sports Desk. FNBO, the great big small bank.
A sight for sore eyes and the sounds of spring help bring in the month of June. Well, hope springs eternal for baseball teams every year. That's if you're allowed to play baseball. After nearly 2 months of uncertainty, America's pastime is up and running here in town. Legion baseball practices are underway across the state today. This morning over at Oregon Trail Park, it was the Gering kids holding their first official workout of the year.
Yeah, you're right. We want to put that behind us and get going on what we got going on. It's finally here, and it's really exciting. It feels right for a change.
Gering has a little less than 3 weeks to put this thing together. Games start on June 18th. Coach Kinnaman now on what they're trying to accomplish these first few days of practice.
Basically just some fundamentals. The rest of that will sort itself out as it needs to. Not too much worried about that. Mostly we're just working on trying to get caught up to where I think we should be at this time of year, which is nearly impossible with this being the first practice. But that's the pressure that you feel, is to get caught up because you know it's coming fast.
So Kinnaman and the team trying to play a little catch-up right now on the field, but also for Coach and the program, it's trying to make sure they've got things ready to go for home games so they can follow the guidelines handed down by the state to make this all work.
This thing is ever changing with the restrictions being lifted, and then this rule comes in and that rule comes in. It's really hard to say on that, Chris. We'll take what we have right now and try to abide by that. I know there's some things that have to be put in place, like markings and signs and all that sort of thing for the fans, and can't sit in the bleachers yet. And hopefully some of this stuff will get lifted before the actual season starts, to where it make it a little more easier to police and enforce.
Absolutely great to see the coaches and kids back together again today at Oregon Trail Park as Gering was officially able to get their Legion season underway. They'll open at home with a junior-senior doubleheader against Ogallala on Thursday, June 18th. We plan on carrying that game right here on KNEB.TV. It wasn't just the head baseball coach in attendance at practice today, but also the assistants, and that means the Gering head football coach was also present. Danny O'Boyle is back to help with baseball this summer before the season on the gridiron gets underway for the Bulldogs. Today, the first day that student athletes were allowed back into high school weight rooms, and Coach O'Boyle is at Gering High bright and early to run the show there.
It was really good. Up to today, didn't know how well it was going to look, and kind of scrambling around with different numbers and what we can and can't do. So weight room went really smooth this morning. Good turnout there. Good attitudes, but that's always easy to do day one. So hopefully we can keep going throughout the week. But feels good to finally get things going after sitting around for about 3 months.
Yeah, these two will switch roles once the fall rolls around, as Kinnaman will join O'Boyle's football staff with the Bulldogs to be the defensive coordinator. Gering football will open in week 1 against Torrington this year. As for the Wesco Legion baseball program, they're holding tryouts this week. I'll make a stop over at Cleveland Field most likely tomorrow to talk with head coach Jeremiah Luber as the Zephyrs and Express start preparations for their upcoming schedules. We'll feature Wesco here at the TV Sports Desk either Thursday or next Monday, depending on possible news from the Western Nebraska Pioneers and the Expedition League here in the next couple of days. That is the latest for today, though, from right here at the FNBO TV Sports Desk. I'm Chris Cottrell. Ryan's back with more coming up right after this on KNEB.TV.
Small business, you're the engine that makes our communities thrive. That's why we're with you, providing more for you, so you can focus on what matters most. Small business, you're the engine that makes our communities thrive. That's why we're with you, providing more for you, so you can earn more, save more, and do more.
For the past 44 years, Platte Valley Vacuum and Sewing has been serving the Wyobraska area. That's quite a long time. At Platte Valley Vac and Sew, you'll find quality sewing machines, quilting and embroidery machines, even sergers from name brands such as Pfaff and Baby Lock, both known for their well-made machinery. Keep in mind you'll receive one-on-one lessons with your machine purchase. Platte Valley Vac and Sew also offers a fine selection of 100% cotton quilting fabrics and a great selection of threads and notions to assist you in most any quilting or embroidery project you might have. For all your sewing machine quilting needs, stop by Platte Valley Vac and Sew, downtown Scottsbluff.
When it comes to helping local folks with the loans and financial advice they need, we don't horse around. Our only goal is to help you and your family achieve your financial goals with the right loans and savings products. So if you want to bank with people that care about you and your financial needs, stop by or give us a call. First State Bank. We're big on you. Member FDIC. Online at fsbcentral.com.
Well, let's take a look what's happening on today's community calendar. That's a look at today's community calendar, brought to you by First State Bank, honoring those who give back. Nominate your community champion at fsbcentral.com.
Fly United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with Western Nebraska Regional Airport. United is dedicated to going the extra mile for you with daily flights to and from Denver, along with a commitment to excellent service. Reserve your flight today, and remember, United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. Plus, Hertz Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want you to plan for tomorrow while you enjoy today. With our personalized trust and estate planning services, our trust services can help you do just that. When it comes to estate planning, you should seek professional help. And when you do, you should have confidence in the financial institution you choose to handle your trust. At Platte Valley Bank, we pride ourselves in keeping our trust operations local and serving our friends and neighbors. We offer a highly personalized, full line of personal trust and estate planning. Give us a call today and see how our trust services can help you.
And finally tonight, Gering City Council members have unanimously approved a resolution that would require a coronavirus-related liability waiver to be signed by youth baseball and softball organizations, parents, and participants using city ball fields. During a special meeting Friday, City Attorney Matt Turman explained the document is intended to limit the city's liability in case a player, coach, or spectator tests positive for the virus due to participating in the sport, but they did try to strike a balance in the language.
We are requiring in our agreement with them that they are going to be responsible for enforcing the directed health measures and the CDC guidelines. So in other words, we're asking those organizations to police themselves and make sure that they are following the rules, just like we're all supposed to. You know, from a city standpoint, we don't really have the resources to be able to do that. So we're asking them to do that on their own behalf.
Signed copies of the agreements for all players on each team, coaches, and organizing groups would have to be returned to the city before they were allowed to use the city's facilities. Any participant or spectator who refuses to comply with the requirements for attendance could be asked to leave the premises. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you here next time.